thought aside of human being, we just explained that. Human have continuously developed until this present time. Just like we said that human being communicate better, make life better, just like a home. You building the home now, used to live in the cave. And continue to evolve, and thought are evolving too. Use emotion to develop themselves, resulting on many academic discipline. See, the progress of human life are much better than before. Home was built better, used to be like from wood trees. Now it's more stable, more modern, more easier for a human being to live in those homes, including even in the Bay Area, how they're going to build, where you live by the beach, in the ocean, to make it more home stabilized. And also, the discipline that we're talking about is we're learning to build better homes, like architectural, like we build pole lines, whatever it is, to come from the discipline and the thought that want to make life better for a human being. Now, when we have so many emotions in a day, did you ever feel by the end of the day that you feel exhausted, you tired, your mind said, oh my, I cannot do this anymore. I need to rest. I not want to think about anything anymore. That's overwhelming with emotion. And that type of emotion disturbed both the body and mind. Your body and mind are related together. Your mind is sick. Your body makes your body sick too. Why? Because you cannot eat, you cannot sleep. That's related to each other. Ignite big issue from small things. From a little thing, because your mind power is not enough, you just use all the energy you have in the day. By the end of the day, something disturbs you, just a little thing. Your husband says something that never mind before today, it become a big deal because of those emotions that disturb you. We need to get rid of that, and we're going to talk about later how do we do that. Even appears in the dreams, right? Did you have a word of bad dream? You think about problem constantly. You go to bed with it, and you dream about it. Just like you woke up, oh, I have a bad dream today. And this is bothering me because, make you dreams about something that bother you even when you sleep. To reduce all those emotions into one seems to be a difficult task, but it is possible to achieve through the meditation. We're going to tell you how. Now, on the second topic of silent recitation is the meaning and the purpose. Meaning of silent recitation and the purpose of the silent recitation. Now, silent is mean quiet. Recitation is mean repeatedly say the same thing over and over, but not out loud, silent in your mind. That's meaning thinking of a word repeatedly in the mind. The purpose of do the silent recitation is to filter until only one emotion remain. And the mind become calm. Why? Because just like I said, in the morning you come up, during the day, even right now you listen to me, maybe your mind's wondering about something else along with it too. That you need to focus on one thing that we suggest to do in meditation. That's why we need to use the methods of silent recitation to make your mind become calm, because you think only one thing. When the mind can focus in silent recitation, a certain level of success has already been achieved. It's been as soon as you recite the silent recitation word, you already success in doing the meditation. Now, procedures of silent recitation. First, you need to choose your word. What silent recitation word that you want to use. Second, find a location point. And the silent recitation word that you use use that your location point. Now, they said, choose your silent recitation word. The word recite could be putto and any other chosen words. You may not need to use the putto like we do in our institute. But putto is been acceptable because have a good meaning, which is the purified and awakened. And also make your mind calm and help you to doubt in this word that right or wrong for you because it's been acceptable already. And then the word putto actually have a history that come from the Indian language that have a good meaning, just like I said. But you can choose any word that you feel comfortable with. And once the word is chosen, the best way not to keep changing it. But at the beginning of your starting to practice meditation, maybe you don't know which word is the right word. You can give yourself a try in a couple of weeks. But as soon as you settle with that word, please do not change it because it's going to delay your practice of meditation. You can slow you down to collectively accumulate your power, mind power. And then when you choose your silent recitation word, then the next step is, when we keep saying it, we need to focus in one place that you can put your mind in there. Otherwise, your minds will wandering around. So we have 3 location points for you to choose from. First one is the forehead. Second one is your heart. And actually your heart, not your heart. You already have one heart. And then the navels, right? Okay, now we can do a little practicing. Before we do that, an individual choice should be based on where either one of you feel comfortable to put your mind in there. Now, we're going to start. Let's put your hand into your forehead. Press it. For a few seconds, take it off. You feel the sensation when you press it there, right? After you take your hands off, do you feel that sensation still there? Yes, on. That may be the right spot for you. And then we're trying the second location, the heart. Touch your heart. Leave it for a few seconds. Now take it off. Did you feel that your hand placing there is still there? The feeling is there? Okay. Now the third one is your navel. Maybe you cannot touch the real navel because your clothes is there. But keep thinking about it, about the mind, okay? All right, take it off. How do you feel? Just feel anything? Okay, that's the 3 locations that you can choose from. And now, there is no right or wrong location point. It is just a matter of what suitable for each one of you. You have to try. You have to test yourself. No one can tell you what's best. Her best is not your best. Just remember that. Once a location point is chosen, it's best not to change it. You can change it because you're just starting in a couple weeks, but you can't keep changing all the time. Your practice is not going to go anywhere. Try it in a couple weeks, doesn't feel right, I try another spot. It's the same way of choosing silent recitation. Try it because you need to practice your meditation every day. And try in a couple weeks. But doesn't feel right, change it. Until you find a spot that make you settle, then choose that. Don't change it again. Because this is going to stay with you for the rest of your life as long as you practice your meditation. And then, silent recitation is the social word at the location point. Why is that? The meditation begins by filter emotion through silent recitation. Just remember that. We use silent recitation for you to concentrate on. Okay, for example, my location point is my forehead. Now I'm going to recite the word putto putto when I'm doing the sitting meditation. And then I'm going to I'm going to rephrase that word repeatedly, repeat it all the time. I'm going to use that word, and my eye closed, and I'm going to place that word right at my forehead. Even my eyes is closed, because it needs to stay somewhere to store it. Otherwise, you're going to wandering around, and then you cannot filter your other emotion because no place for you to settle down on. Right? Focus the mind by reciting Putto at the chosen at the location point. I just explained that. Silent recitation is an essential tool. There is no other way to get rid of other emotion, only using silent recitation word to help you filter those emotions. Because when you repeat one word, you focus it here, you're going to start eliminating all those. And your mind going to be thinking about one thing, that your silent recitation word at your location point. Now, when you're walking, will you do the silent recitation word? Yes, you do. But don't close your eye when you're walking, okay? For walking meditation, we also need to recite that at the location point. Now, at times, the mind is distracted by emotion. Just remember that. Even you keep saying the repeated word, it doesn't mean that you can get rid of the emotion right away. Need practice, need to focus. And eventually, your mind will become one. Sometimes one lose, get distracted. Sometimes one win, can focus on Putto and other chosen word. Just like every day, when you start practicing, it doesn't mean that you're successful. Your mind become calm right away. No, it doesn't. It's going to take time. It takes practice. This day, today, you're sitting, oh, I feel well. I'm doing so well because I feel I have inner peace, I have calm. The next day, so frustration. You give up. That's okay. Keep practicing. Don't give up. You need to practice that every day. If you win, you're going to learn that. What is the mind power is about, how you relax your calm mind would be. But don't give up when you're not successful in this way. Even the loser, someday going to be a winner. You keep practice. Now, the result of the silent recitation. The meditative mind is a result of silent recitation. That's basically meditative mind that you focus on. That's the result that you're going to receive, the calmer mind. Attaining meditative mind is the only way to generate it, increase mind power. Yes, that's something that some of you may not understand it yet, but just remember, doing silent recitation, easy as is? No, it doesn't. Okay, then keep practicing. When you practice today, you have a bunch of this, your mind is spinning and fighting with the word silent recitation. And then eventually, when you feel calmer, that you are attaining the meditative mind, and make you feel better, trust me. And then the result of that of the people use of the mind power they have, living in sufficient amount to control their own mind. Because everybody have the natural meditative minds anyway. Every day you deal with a lot of problems. You don't know how to create more to get the mind power. By the end of the day, you're exhausted because you don't know how to create it more. That's frustrates you. And then leaving you like an angry person, anything agitated you. Meditation modify the natural flow of emotion, creating the huge benefit. What it means is just like the meditation with the silent recitation word, controlling the natural flow of emotion, because we have a bunch of things going on in our mind. Meditation will help you to change that into a mind power. Meditation filter emotion, and once the meditative mind attain, it produce enormous mind power. Meditation filter emotion, right? Because we want to use one single motion that you need to keep. Just like President Long Po said, just like we're building a dam. right? Before we go to building dam, basically you see that the flow of the rivers, that can be useful, but less useful because it's not enough. You can use that to water the crops, to grow them, to take a bath with it by the river. But as soon as you're building a dam, that's an accumulation of the flow of emotion. And then when you accumulate more of the water, the water rising up, have enough power that store, what do we use that? We generate electricity, to use that this energy of the water to driven the turbine and generate electricity for the business, for home, and even entire city. With meditative mind, with meditation, with silent recitation, just like a dam that built across the river of mind. When you accumulate more, silent recitation help you to the flow of that emotion, to collective the mind power, as is the same way. Then the principle of a silent recitation is merely the beginning of the meditation. We use silent recitation only the beginning when you start doing your meditation. Second, silent recitation is necessity, is a must. And when we're going to stop, cessation of silent recitation need to be stopped at some point when you progress further ahead. Now, when the mind becomes skillful and sustain calmness on its own, silent recitation is no longer needed. Beginning, sit down, close your eyes, put your silent recitation word in your location point repeatedly, and then eventually you have sustained the meditative mind. You become skillful. What does skillful mean? It doesn't mean that you've been practiced so many years, 5 years, 10 years. The skillful of meditative mind is mean you can sustain calmness in your mind. Some may practice very well and then can be skillful in a short period of time. Some maybe forever will never get that easily, but please keep practicing. And then when you sustain mind power and calmness in there, at some point you may no longer need that silent recitation, for your body will tell you that you need to stop. An unskilled mind needs silent recitation in the same way that infant needs a caretaker or a nanny. You're thinking about the baby. The baby, when it was born, doesn't know anything. We need the nanny to protect them, feed them, help them from being harmed, to grow up properly. As the same way that the new meditator practice person, or even the skillful one, still need to use silent recitation word to help you, to control you, to filter other emotion until you have only one emotion left. Once the infant has grown up, the caretakers no longer necessarily like the mind that has become skillful. That's exactly what it is. Kid growing up. No more nanny. I don't need you. I can eat, I can go, I can do things on my own. As the same way that when you start doing the meditation, silent recitation, just like a nanny caretaker, and to a certain point, when you sustain your calmness, then you drop. That's silent recitation word. Now, each day we are overwhelmed with hundreds, thousands, and even a whole bunch of emotion, right? Therefore, it is essential to begin every meditation session with silent recitation to filter those emotions. No one can start do meditation without the silent recitation word, because that's the filter to get rid of other emotion until one is left. Now, cessation of silent recitation. Okay, silent recitation, beginning, do the meditation. Repeat that word. Then, your cessation of silent recitation happening when you sustain your meditative mind, you attain your calmness already. It means during that calmness, maybe few seconds, few minutes. Do you think that you're going to be staying that forever? No, it doesn't. Because you might something come up as far as your mind. You fall off the word puto or other words that you choose. Then go back it again. Thought occur, going back to the same first step. Repeated silent recitation of the word until you have one emotion, love, the calm mind. Then when the sustain the mind calmness, the mind power has already a sufficient. You accumulated your mind power. Now the mind power has been used a lot, maybe no longer sufficient, and then we repeat the same thing again, because sometimes at the time that you are have a calmness, but sometimes it's not accumulate enough. It make you fall off again, and then you repeat to the first one. That means start from the beginning. Now, I'm sorry. The conclusion of the silent recitation: human use emotion to develop themselves, but overwhelming emotion can also disturb both the body and mind. The purpose of silent recitation to filter emotion to calm the mind. And then to conduct silent recitation, we choose silent recitation word and a location point. Once they are chosen, it's best not to change it again. Then we silently recite the chosen word at the location point. The meditative mind is the result of silent recitation, attaining meditative mind, and is the only way to generate it to increase the mind power. When the mind has sustained in the calmness on its own, silent recitation word is no longer needed. And then nevertheless, it's necessary to start with silent recitation every time we meditated to filter the overwhelming of the emotions. And after cessation of the silent recitations, if the thought is occur, we should return to the silent recitation again. Okay, I hope that you can use what I presented to you in a useful way. Thank you, and อนุโมทนาค่ะ